Hi everyone, so today I have a very cute and surprisingly straightforward project to show you all. And that is how I made these custom scrolling text display boots. So the way I've designed this is that this is a custom laser cut piece of acrylic and the little scroll text bar is inserted into it, which means it's also removable. The concept of scroll text display boots isn't entirely new. I know Irregular Choice had a scroll text boot from a little while ago where the actual bar was inserted into the shoe itself. But to my understanding, I might have this wrong, there were only a few preset selections for what the actual boot could display and you couldn't customize it. But those boots are absolutely gorgeous. I wanted to find a way to fit LEDs or scrolling text bars into a boot while having it be customizable but also compact. There are typically a few common issues when customizing boots and shoes, more specifically because you're usually, banging these around, they might get caught on things, and you don't want electronics and things to get ripped out by accident. There's also some degree of flexibility needed for when you walk, as well as the surface itself being, not entirely flat, which makes it a bit more difficult. I thought about buying an entire kit to, put together the electronics and things for the display. It was getting way too messy and not practical at all. So I came up with something that's probably almost like cheating because there's absolutely no programming or anything like that required. But hey, I hope this is a testament for work smarter, not harder. And my solution for all this drama was to use one of these things. On the internet and AliExpress where I got these, you can buy these little LED name tags. So these things actually have a little pin on the back, so you're meant to attach it to your clothing and customize it to have your name. It's customizable within the limits of the app that you use this for, and there's absolutely no fuss around batteries or wires, so it's just super easy. When it comes to attaching it to the boot, I wanted it to be removable just in case I was getting on public transport or it started raining, I could just rip it off. The least destructive way I could think of doing this was to simply attach the extra piece with hook and loop tape and then have some extra attachment pieces on the inside or the back, and the LED pops out like that. My custom design was this wing piece, but of course it could be anything. Now that I've given the lowdown, let's get into how they were made. The shoes of choice I'm using are some plain black faux leather boots. I chose these specifically since the sole and heel do not flex very much when it's worn, so it's a bit more of a sturdy option to use for this project. The material I used for the covers was this clear acrylic that I had laser cut into shape. Alternatively, you could use either some thin wood or even craft foam used in cosplay. It still needs to have some rigidity to keep its form and to support the tag. I cut both the main cover pieces along with two pairs of these smaller rectangles. The pattern and measurements I used for these is on my website in the description down below. In short, the main cover has a small opening for the LEDs to shine through, which is also not big enough for the tag itself to fall through. The smaller rectangle pieces are cut exactly to the measurements of the tag, so they fit very snugly in place. I cut two pairs of the rectangles and glued them together with epoxy as I needed them to match the thickness of the tag itself. I also laser cut some wing pieces out of a scrapbooking card, which are going to sit behind the acrylic for a sparkly effect. These were attached with a glitter and Mod Podge mixed paste, then sticking them together and placing some weights on top for a few days until completely dry. At the same time, I started glitterifying the heels of the boots with the same Mod Podge paste so it wouldn't flake off, just layering them up over time to create a consistent glittery finish. I painted the back of the cardboard wings black to detract the eye from it, as it will still be visible once the project is finished. Once this is all dried and sealed, it's time to glue the little rectangles to the back of the wings using some more epoxy. I slipped the name tags in the middle as a guide to position them and also made sure not to also glue them in the process. Once the epoxy is dry, it's time to position the cover onto the boot. I'm using a sticky hook and loop tape that has a very strong glue on one side that you peel off and stick to whatever surface you're applying it to. I cut small strips of the scratchy side to attach to the wing piece, covering all edges of the rectangle. It will take a little bit of experimenting to figure out what position the tag sits best on the boot. The flatter the surface is, the better amount of grip it will have. I would even suggest having someone wear the boot while sticking it on and testing and walking just to see if it moves around. So just play around for a bit until you're happy with how it looks and fits. So with all of that prepared, I can finally get into customizing the boot itself. Adding a white base coat of paint first helps your final colours pop a lot more. The paints I'm using are the Jacquard Neopaque and Lumiere colours used previously. They flex quite well with leather and faux leather objects without cracking. My plan was to have a pink toe and heel feature, then completely cover everything in rhinestones. This worked well until I ran out of rhinestones. I'm pretty sure I used at least 5 packets, each containing at least 2,000 rhinestones in them. It's really fun to do for a while, but then I never seem to learn from my previous projects as to how long this takes to do, and it's not just for one boot, but 2 of them. To fill in the lack of rhinestones in some areas, I found some larger glitter stashed away and Mod Podge pasted them on to finish and to keep everything in place. At the same time, I rhinestoned the wing pieces to keep them consistent with the design of the boot. It adds so much sparkle and depth to the final look that I am very happy that I took the time to get this done. Going back to the name tags, these were the ones that I ordered. I'm not a particular advocate for any particular seller of these. I got them on AliExpress. They come in a bunch of colours and designs. I wanted pink, so that's what I got. They came in this little box including the name tag itself and a USB charging cable that simply plugs into the side for when you need it. There were 2 options you could use for customizing your text design on the tag. One is with a disc that comes with the box. I'm not a huge fan of putting unknown software on my computer, nor do I have a disk drive on any computer I own nowadays. Instead, I went with the alternative of using Bluetooth. Download the specified app from the App Store. Once you're finished with sending the design to the tag, you can just delete the app later. Write your custom message or emote however you'd like. And when you're ready, push the power button again while it's on to activate Bluetooth mode and send the design to the tag. And there we go! Now that I got 2 tags running, one for each boot, all you need to do is slip them into the cover for a snug fit and simply attach them to the boots to finish the project. There really isn't a whole lot involved with making these custom boots. I just took the long way around by rhinestoning everything. But I think that's what makes them so effective. While simple to make, the impact they have is very clear. You can change what the tag says depending on the occasion you wear them for, and you could even make a cover to conceal the attachment part on the boot to create another look entirely. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy my other recent light up fashion projects, including a mask and my LED jacket. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye!